Hello again, it's Sam Gregory and I'm back with another image of mine from the Dolomites where I'll be leading a tour this summer. More info on the Light and Land website. But let's get into the image, and I'm going to talk about why I particularly like this image and why it hopefully works, and also the importance of perhaps waiting sometimes for light and just moving your position to make the best of a particular scene. So let's jump into the image. Okay, so this is the image in question, and it was shot just 15 minutes or so from where we stay at this tour in June this year that we're going. Now, I've chosen this particular image because it highlights a few things that I would say commonly crop up in my photography and things that I look for and that I try to help other people find and look for if indeed they enjoy this type of work, shall we say. So, obviously when you're in the mountains, there's a lot of triangular and diagonal shapes coming up because of the nature of the mountains themselves. And one of the great things about the Dolomites is the rock faces are very, very clean. So there's not commonly trees and shrubs and all the rest of it on the mountain sides. Yes, there are further down, but not on the upper peaks. As you can see here, it's quite clean. So those graphic shapes are accentuated even more. Now, what I often do, and it's something I've done for a while, and it's something that I also talk about a lot in the simplifying composition workshops that we do with Light and Land, is I break down images into where the flow is perhaps, and that can often be determined by the shapes within an image. So in this example, we've got a lot of diagonals, we've got a lot of triangular shapes, and that tends to give this sort of zigzag flow, for want of a better word. And flow in square images can be quite difficult to achieve sometimes. The other thing I do is I break down if there are shapes, where they are, and I try to then distill that out into the scene so that when I'm in the landscape, I can look for similar shapes and balance them into a nice ordered composition. Now, composition is obviously very important, but also light, as we all know, is very important too. And I wanted to just show you, because it's important to see other images, the ones that didn't win, so to speak. This particular image was just from a few moments beforehand. Now you can see the light isn't as vivid on this foreground area. That's nothing to do with my editing, that is just to do with waiting for the light to come through the clouds and waiting for it to land on this foreground. You can also see that I've changed my perspective. Here I've got closer into the foreground area to compress this foreground to mid, and also just to highlight the flowers. The flowers are there, I don't want to ignore them, it's summer, that's the whole point. Whereas here, that is not as well accentuated. Also, you can see I've just caught a little bit of that road there on the right hand side. So this would be very much a sort of warm up for me as I start to just focus in and zone in on what I really want to capture. And then it's just a case of waiting for the light to do what you want it to do, basically. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back with some more videos very soon. And as ever, if there's any questions, do just let me know in the comments box.